To fully appreciate the magnitude of this matchup, we need to understand Jake Paul's journey. From viral Vine star to YouTube sensation, Jake Paul has always been a polarizing figure. But in 2018, he took an unexpected turn, stepping into the boxing ring. What started as a sideshow quickly evolved into a serious career. With wins over retired MMA fighters like Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, and even a shocking victory against a 58-year-old Mike Tyson.
He has a big name in the UK. The Pauls, that Tyson fight is just a strange one to me. I hope Tyson takes his nose off. I'm sure at some stage. You know, we'll go through all this. So you never. It's just like another little world, isn't it? Yeah. So the YouTuber nerds could be like, you know, I would consider that a nixer. You know, your uncle's friend needs a you know, a radiator fitted in his house, so he'll do a side job and get a side pay. I would consider them guys to be.
Jake Paul has defied expectations at every turn. Critics dismiss his fights as gimmicks, but you can't deny the numbers millions in pay-per-view buys and a fan base that spans generations. Then we have Conor McGregor, the biggest star in MMA history. Known for his explosive knockouts and even more explosive trash talk, McGregor has become a household name, transcending the world of combat sports. But let's be honest, McGregor hasn't been the same fighter since his 2016 peak. Losses to Dustin Poirier and his infamous leg injury have left fans wondering if the Irishman can still dominate. Yet, McGregor remains a massive draw, and a fight with Jake Paul is exactly the kind of spectacle that reignites his brand.
He shouldn't even be fighting Conor McGregor. These guys are huge. He's huge. His brother's huge. I mean, what's your brother, 6'1"?
Yeah.
210?
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's 145, 155 pounds.
Oh, he fights that low. I thought he fights like 160. I thought he fights like 160.
He's looking a bit thick now.
Yeah.
Dana White has been vocal in the past about his disdain for Jake Paul, often dismissing him as a sideshow. So why is he suddenly on board? The answer is simple: business. The fight game isn't just about competition, it's about entertainment. Dana White knows this better than anyone. By pairing Jake Paul with Conor McGregor, he's not just creating a fight, he's creating an event. The crossover appeal of these two polarizing figures is guaranteed to draw massive attention, uniting hardcore MMA fans with casual boxing viewers and Jake Paul's younger audience. Let's address the timing. Why is this fight happening now? For Jake Paul, it's the logical next step. After defeating older and less experienced opponents, Paul needs a true test to silence his critics. And who better than Conor McGregor, a former double champion and one of the most recognizable names in combat sports? For McGregor, this fight is a chance to stay relevant. With his UFC future uncertain and his recent performances raising questions, a high-profile bout against Jake Paul offers a massive payday and a chance to reassert his dominance even if it's outside the octagon. Of course, no fight featuring Conor McGregor and Jake Paul would be complete without some epic trash talk. Jake Paul has already fired shots, calling McGregor out publicly on multiple occasions.
And get him the most amount of money. So a part of that negotiation is, hey, we have Conor McGregor for 2 more fights. But if he were to fight now, that wouldn't be a part of the negotiation. Be like, oh yeah, well you only have Conor for one fight. So that's why Conor's not fighting right now. And this is what they do to the fighters is, if you sign the contract that you didn't sign, if you win, then you're like locked in for 3 more fights or something like that. And there's each contract is different, but you basically don't want to win because then you're locked.
One, he's under contract, and 2,
he's not his own boss.
And 2, he won't do it. He knows better.
He's referred to McGregor as washed up and challenged him to both boxing and MMA fights. McGregor, never one to back down, responded in classic Conor style, calling Jake Paul a piss bag and mocking his previous opponents. As the fight draws closer, you can bet the trash talk will reach new heights, turning this into one of the most entertaining buildups in recent memory. Let's address the elephant in the room. Is this a legitimate fight or just a cash grab? Critics argue that pairing a YouTuber with an MMA legend undermines the integrity of both boxing and MMA. They see this as another example of entertainment trumping competition. But here's the counter-argument. Fights like these are evolving the sport.
Do you think that Jake's gotten better as a boxer?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And listen, what Jake Paul has accomplished is he's fighting old guys.
All have had your disagreements. Do you think that Jake's gotten better as a boxer?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And listen, what Jake Paul has accomplished is he's fighting old guys.
Yes.
He's fighting, all he fights are old guys and whatever. But listen, say what you want, he wins. And he makes.
They bring in new audiences, generate massive revenue, and create moments that transcend the traditional boundaries of boxing and MMA. Love it or hate it, Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor is the kind of fight that gets people talking. Now, the big question, who wins? On paper, McGregor has the edge in combat sports experience. His striking is world-class, and he's faced far tougher opponents than Jake Paul. But don't count Jake Paul out. He's younger, larger, and has been laser-focused on boxing for the past few years. If the fight happens in a boxing ring, Paul's size and preparation could give him an advantage. However, if it's an MMA bout, McGregor's skills and versatility would likely overwhelm Paul. Social media has been ablaze since Dana White's confirmation. Fans are divided, with some calling this fight a disgrace to combat sports and others praising its entertainment value.
Here is completely different than what him and his brother are doing. You know what I mean? I'm looking for the absolute best in the world. These guys who have trained their whole life, they fight in these smaller shows and then they make it to the UFC, and we put the best against.
Jake Paul, Conor McGregor. Is that fight happening or what?
Probably not, no.
Are you closed off to it completely?
I'm never
One fan wrote, "This is the WWE of real fighting, pure spectacle, and I'm here for it." Another commented, "This fight is everything wrong with modern boxing. No matter where you stand, one thing is clear. Everyone is talking about it." And that's exactly what Dana White, Jake Paul, and Conor McGregor want.